what should I do to protect my financial security? Thank you.
So buy land. Buy tangibles, things that are they're stable and they don't go away. Now there's going to be fearmongers who will tell you your land's going to be taken away from you, right? But they can't. So it's all about agreements and things. My whole thing, listen to the 2022 whole thing, right? A prediction, not predictions, but foresight. The stuff, the plans and everything, it's all fear-based. So whatever makes you feel secure at a financial level, do that. Because your body will feel much better and there'll be less stress. When you're stressed, stress is a toxin, creates toxins in your body. Create and make are decisions that you make and create based on happiness and that make you feel good rather than fear-based decisions. Don't make fear-based decisions. When we started playing crypto, it was through fun. We had extra fun, have some fun and see what happens. And we didn't mind if we lost it all. So it wasn't a fear-based decision to invest in crypto. And at some point says, yeah, we need to sell all those and
buy our land with it.
Buy land, right? Buy land with it. So with regards to financial collapses, when I was in school in England, I was a teenager and we were looking at the Great Depressions because there was more than one at the time. And we were in the 80s and we went through a financial collapse in the 80s. And this history teacher was telling us about the previous ones. And at one point he said the largest wealth fortunes were made through this period of financial collapse.
That's true.
Right. And then the other things, it's like when I saw that and I thought, wow, that is really fascinating, right? Fascinating. How did that happen? When I was 17, I dropped out of school. And everybody said, well, you haven't finished school, you're not going to be able to get a job. Nobody can get a job anyway. We're in the middle of a crisis. There was employment or something ridiculous. And
so that threat doesn't mean meaningless.
So it was like,
can't get a job, okay.
Can't get a job. Well, I tried to get a job and nobody would give me a job. So I decided to create my own job and then give job to others. I was 17. I started a catering company and I gave job to 4 people. So at 17, I decided that I was going to take that in advisement, what the teacher had said. And I can tell you that I learned that those fortunes weren't done by people looking for work, but it were made by people who decided to supply work. So at 17 years old, I started looking at my city where I lived. I lived in Nottingham. And I saw that there were 60% unemployment or whatever it was. And when I saw that, I thought, okay, so who is taking care of all these people that are unemployed? Oh, it's government agencies. It's the social security people. It's the social services. It's the employment resource center. It's all these individuals. And then I started looking at their departments and their policies. How do they run their departments? And the whole giving employment to minorities was huge at the time, right? Try to bring jobs to minorities, meaning to minorities, and help to minorities was huge. And I thought, heck, I'm a minority, I'm a woman of color. I might be 17, but look at my skin, it's dark. I've got dark skin. I don't speak English very well. I'm a political refugee. I mean, tick the box, I was on it, right? So I thought 2 things. 1, I can get money and grants because of my situation, so I can start a business. So I got a whole bunch of grants, bought a bunch of equipment, and I gave employment to people to create this catering with entertainment, South American Indian music, and food. And then I thought, well, who can I sell this catering services to? And it was all the departments in the government that were following those policies. So I started looking at their schedules in the government pages. Oh, the Department of Social Welfare for such and such an area is going to have a training on integrating women into the workforce. Guess who I called to see who's doing their catering? That department, right? Okay, I see you have, in 6 months, you have this thingy. Who's doing your catering? Oh, we have people, if you're interested, you can send in your proposal. So I will send in my proposal. Political refugee, woman of color, giving work to other people of color and minorities, and culturally diverse, and Indian South American food and music. Guess who got all the contracts? Yeah, I did. 17-year-old got all the contracts, right? And I charged more than the others. I knew how much people were charging. I would call them. Hey, I'm 17, I'm doing a school project and I want to know, when you send in your whatever's for the government, what is the type of pricing that you ask for? And I would make it more expensive. And it just fitted in. It's like, it felt like they would get better value, a better service, a better everything because of it, right? And I was so sure of myself that I was going to get these jobs for my company and my people. So sure of myself that I used to with my proposals and everything, and if they had to interview, and I knew it was mine. So it was, right? And then my sister and I, of course, being Indian girls, we would make jewelry, and we put a little table on the, in and out place where people walk in and out to have their lunch. And we would sell all our jewelry. And I made a massive error when I created that company. And the massive error was that at the time, the government was giving more grants to people who created co-ops. So I went ahead at 17, I created a co-op. And that was the very first and the very last time that I created a co-op. Because I swear to you, all of my employees were adults. And they would take 2-3 days to choose the color of a napkin. And then all their egos would come up and they would argue with each other. Freaking napkins. So about 6 months into the business, I left. I just couldn't handle it anymore. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't have another 15-hour meeting over, where we're going to buy carrots. Right? I just couldn't do it. And they carried on. They continued. It was a co-op, so they didn't need the founder there. They carried on with the business. It ticked along for about another month or two until the contracts that I had brought in ended. And they didn't get more contracts. Right? So that was the end of the business. But what I'm saying to you is, and this story is telling you that your viewpoint from how am I going to be financially safe changes when you look at it from the perspective of how can I take advantage of the situation for my wealth or our wealth, right? Where are the opportunities here? And how can I use these opportunities to increase my chi? It's a very, very different mindset. Very different.